this as a metric. We're constantly seeing all of these phony polls, and I say that they are phony. You got to understand that these political pollsters are nothing but court jesters for the political establishment. They're clowns, telling you whatever the political establishment wants you to hear. They're nothing but court jesters. When they say they've got a poll with a mean error of 4 points, plus or minus 4 points, okay? And then they're 10 points apart from each other. It's like, that doesn't add up, right? Doesn't add up. And you can look at their assumptions, whether it is skewing it towards 15% more Democrats than Republicans, which is not the way the voter registration is set up, or whether they're even looking at something like likely voters. That doesn't apply in this election, because we've got a lot of people who have never voted in their life before or haven't voted for decades that are now seeing that there is a real difference. You heard Stefan Molyneux in the last hour talking to Paul Joseph Watson. He said, I've advised people not even to pay any attention to politics. Just get out of it. It's not worth it. But he said, this time we have a difference. This time we have somebody who is outside. This time we have somebody who will fight the globalist consolidation, who will fight the governance by corporations, who will call it for what it is. Speak out plainly about what is going on and tell the truth about the global consolidation that is going on. Rule by corporations. That's what Donald Trump said. And, of course, he was merely repeating what Hillary Clinton had told her banker friends in one of her expensive speeches that she was giving, saying, hey, we're going to have hemispheric common market. We're going to have open borders. We're going to have open trade, all of that. North American Union, open borders, saying this is the North American Union that she's talking about, the thing that they keep telling us doesn't exist, and yet we see it in her emails. And then also talking about a green, sustainable economy, reorganizing the entire world economy based on this myth of climate change, man-made climate change, doing that so that they can create a global imperative for world government and fund it with a global carbon tax. But let's take a look at this Pennsylvania situation. 100,000 Pennsylvanian voters switched from Democrat to Republican. This is a much better metric than any of these phony polls that they're giving you. They say, what's more, the Pennsylvania Republican Party says that more than 240,000 new voters have joined the party since last November. 240,000. 100,000 of those switching from Democrat to Republican. And yet we're told by the mainstream media, Donald Trump doesn't have a chance in Pennsylvania. He doesn't have a chance, they say. Say nearly twice the number of newly registered Republicans compared to both 2008 and 2012 numbers combined. And yet the RNC will not spend a penny to help Donald Trump, because they don't want their party taken over by outsiders. They don't want a party that is going to put America first. They want a party that is going to put globalism first. That's what they have been working on with the Democrats. Now, the good news that we see from the Rasmussen poll, and again, it's another poll, okay, and you can take it with a grain of salt. Nevertheless, they say the full results from Sunday night's debate are in, and Rasmussen says that Donald Trump has now taken the lead back. They say the latest poll shows Trump with 43% and Hillary Clinton with 41%. They say yesterday Clinton still held a 4-point lead, 43% to 39% over Trump, and that was down from 5 points on Tuesday, her biggest lead ever of 7 points on Monday. So they dump all this dirt with the help of the Bush family on Friday. On Monday, they do their polls on a day-to-day basis during the week. So they dump all the dirt on Friday. They do the poll on Monday, 7 points ahead for Hillary. The next day, she's 5 points ahead. The next day, she's 4 points ahead. Today, Trump is 2 points ahead. You see that? See the trend? You see a trend? Whether it's true or not, and of course, they're looking at likely voters. And again, I think that even underrepresents Donald Trump's position there. Now, as he was campaigning yesterday in Florida, another battleground state, he was in Lakeland, Florida, and in Ocala, Florida. And he was telling people, we've got to jail Hillary for prison. And he needs to be talking about that. We all need to get Hillary, if not in jail, we need to make sure she's not in the White House. But I'd like to see her in the big house. He said after getting the subpoena to give over her emails and lots of other things, she deleted the emails. And, of course, she destroyed the server. She destroyed the devices, the multiple devices that she had, even though she lied and said she had single devices. He said she has to go to jail. And they say they were rousing cheers. Based on her crimes, she should not be allowed to run for president. It's time for a new direction, he said, to chance of lock her up Lock her up from the crowd. Then he goes to Ocala and he says this: whether I win, lose, or draw, I'm ashamed of what's happened to our country, and so are you. You know what? So are the FBI and the Department of Justice employees. They're ashamed.